Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to meet and serve you. Our discussion for today is all about straight line and its preliminary concepts. And this is Engineer Danilo M. Guzman Jr. Let us now start our discussion. Our discussion for today is all about straight line and preliminary concepts. But before we start, allow me to introduce first all the formulas that we're going to use. The first formula that we have ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, and we call it as the general form of the straight line. For the second formula that we call it as the two-point form, and we read it as y minus y sub 1 equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 to be multiplied by x minus x sub 1. For the third formula that we have it as y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1, and we call it as the point slope form of the straight line. But of course, we also have the slope intercept form, and we read it as y equals mx plus b. And also, we have the intercept form, and it is written as x over a plus y over b is equal to 1. A is the x-intercept, while b, we call it as the y-intercept. And in addition to all those details that I've already mentioned, the variable m from the given equation of the line slope-intercept form and point slope form, we call the m as the slope of the line. And for the other formulas that we have the following, such as the distance between 2 points. And we can read the formula as d is equal to the square root of the square of y sub 2 minus y sub 1 plus the square of x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And then we also have the slope formula. M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And this is the formula for the slope formula. Actually, when we are calculating for the possible values of slope, there are possible values that we can have. First, it can be a negative value. It might be a positive 1 or 0 or maybe undefined. And in lieu with this, allow me to read each of the following. If the value of the slope is negative, the direction of the line on the sketch of the graph is downward to the right. If the value of the slope is positive, the direction of the line on the sketch of the graph is upward to the right. If the value of the slope is 0, the sketch of the graph of a line is horizontal, since y sub 1 equals y sub 2. And for another possible value of the slope, if the value of the slope is undefined, the sketch of the graph of a line is vertical, since x sub 1 is equal to x sub 2. And of course, we have additional formula, and we have it as the midpoint formula being represented by MP x y. And in order to calculate for the value of x, we have the formula as x sub 1 plus x sub 2 all over 2, while y is equal to y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. We also have the distance between parallel lines, wherein line 1 is represented by ax plus by plus c sub 1 is equal to 0. On the other hand, we have the equation 2, and we call it as line 2, and we can read it as ax plus by plus c sub 2 is equal to 0. And in order to calculate for the value of the distance between parallel lines, we have this given formula. D is equal to the difference of c sub 1 and c sub 2 all over plus or minus square root of a square plus b square. And then, coming up next, we have the angle between two lines. As givens, first we have the line 1, y is equal to m sub 1 x plus b sub 1. On the other hand, we have the line 2, and here is the equation, y is equal to m sub 2x plus b sub 2. And then, for the formula of our angle between two lines, we have it as theta equals arctangent m sub 2 minus m sub 1 all over 1 plus m sub 1 times m sub 2. Of course, we have another formula, and we call it as the distance between a point and a line. And in order to calculate, we have it as d is equal to ax sub 1 plus by sub 1 plus c all over plus or minus square root of a square plus b square. And now, let us also have the parallel lines. Two lines are said to be parallel lines if they have equal slope, and that is the condition. And for the representation of parallel lines, we have line 1, wherein the equation is equal to y equals m sub 1x plus b sub 1, while on the other hand, we have the line 2, or equation 2, we have it as y equals m sub 2x plus b sub 2. And these two lines are said to be parallel when their corresponding slopes are equal, and we have it represented by m sub 1 is equal to m sub 2. But of course, if we have parallel lines, we also have perpendicular lines. Two lines are said to be perpendicular lines if their corresponding slopes are negative reciprocals. And for the representation of perpendicular lines, we have line 1, y is equals to m sub 1x plus b sub 1, and line 2 as y is equal to m sub 2x plus b sub 2. And finally, for the value of m sub 1 as slope 1 is equal to a, while the other slope m sub 2 is equal to negative 1 over a, or m sub 2 is equal to negative 1 over m sub 1. And also, we have the area of polygon by coordinates. This formula can be used while we need to calculate for the area of any polygon given its coordinates. Included in here is also the illustration about the area of a triangle by coordinates. As shown below is the figure. But of course, we have the formula for the area of a triangle given its coordinates. The area is equal to 1 half times x sub 1 y sub 2 plus x sub 2 y sub 3 plus x sub 3 y sub 1 minus y sub 1 x sub 2 plus y sub 2 x sub 3 plus y sub 3 x sub 1. And now, after all the formulas were mentioned, let us now try to solve a CE board exam problem. given as situation 1, strategy 1. And allow me to read the problem. Given the following points A, 3 and 4, and B, 2 and negative 6, determine the equation of the straight line. And here are the choices as shown below. Choice A, 10x minus y minus 26 is equal to 0. B, 10x plus y minus 26 is equal to 0. Letter C, we have 10x minus y plus 26 is equal to 0. And the last choice, 10x plus y plus 26 is equal to 0. And for the start of our solution, let A be the point P sub 1, wherein x sub 1 is equal to 3, while y sub 1 is equal to 4. And then we can let B be the point P sub 2, wherein x sub 2 is equal to 2 and y sub 2 is equal to negative 6. But of course, before we start all the calculations, let us have a recall first of our two-point form formula of a straight line. And we have it as y minus y sub 1 equal y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 times x minus x sub 1. Substitute the values of x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, and y sub 2 to the two-point formula. After the substitution process, we have it now the equation as y minus 4 equal negative 6 minus 4 all over 2 minus 3 times x minus 3. And then we have it now as y minus 4 equals negative 10 over negative 1 times x minus 3. Simplifying it, we have y minus 4 equals 10 times x minus 3. Since negative 10 over negative 1 is positive 10, because the numerator and denominator are both signs, they are both negative, then we can have a positive result. That's why we have y minus 4 equals 10 times x minus 3. For its continuation, we now have y minus 4 equals 10x minus 30. And then we have it as 0 equals 10x minus y plus 4 minus 30. Because here, we have transposed y to the right side, and it becomes negative y, and also negative 4 to the right side becomes positive 4. And then we have the equation as 0 equals 10x minus y minus 26. Simplifying it again, we have our final answer in its general form as 10x minus y minus 26 is equal to 0. And therefore, our answer to the given CE board exam problem is letter A, 10x minus y minus 26 is equal to 0.